My name is Pierre. Horse's name is Linda. It's a mare of about 15 years old.
Oh, Linda.
She's a veteran. She's been doing this for about 10 years. It's the first time I think that they filmed the whole tour.
Okay.
Well, this is your tour to stardom, at least on YouTube.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll do my best with my English. Are you from the city, Philadelphia city or state?
Yes, well, nearby.
Nearby.
Pennsylvania is the state and Philadelphia is the city.
Yeah, I've been in Philadelphia once.
Oh, my husband is from Mexico City.
Oh, ¿habla español?
Claro.
Ah, puedo dar el tour en español si prefieren.
No, en inglés.
For the vlog, it's English.
So how do you know Spanish so well, Pierre?
Oh, my girlfriend is Peruvian.
Ah, the girlfriend is Peruvian. I see you're wearing a Peruvian cap.
So now we're passing outside the St. Louis Gateway. Here we're going to go to see the Parliament. Well, here you will see the fortification. You know that Quebec City is the only fortified city in North America. The wall is about 4.5 kilometers. It was built around the 1740s before the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. In the 19th century, the population of the city grew a lot within about 50 years. The one that wanted to stay loyal to Great Britain, the one after the independence of the United States, they came to refugiate in Quebec. So in the 19th century, the population almost tripled within 50 years. It was the first residential quarter outside the wall. Tell me, on your blog, is it just this trip, or you have other trips on the blog? Are you used to travel
No, we
around?
traveled in Europe, and so that's on the blog also. But we're going to be starting to do this for a lifestyle, and so wherever we travel, we're going to write about it. So this is one of our. We've really enjoyed Quebec.
It's not the first time you come in Quebec, so.
Yes, it is. Well, a few weeks ago we were here, but we came
For
back.
one day, but we loved it so much that we wanted to come back.
Okay.
Because we didn't spend enough time the last time.
Yeah, we hadn't met you yet.
I'm also a traveler. I had a blog once. You know, I traveled in South and Central America. So here you see very well the armory, which was built in 1885 for the Reserve Regiment. Designed after the Chenonceau Castle, as I told you. You see the coat of arms of Canada in the center on top of the gate. Built in 1885 by the same designer as the Parliament, and that we call it the Plains of Abraham. He was not a soldier or a general, it was not part of the battle.
It's just, this is where the battle took place, in the Plains of Abraham. And these are the Plains of Abraham apartments.
Do you live inside the wall?
Oh, no, I work inside the wall, that's
You
enough.
work inside the wall, but you
Believe
don't
me,
live
it's
inside.
enough. I spend a lot of hours inside the wall. We're going to leave also on a trip. We're going to put all our things in the cars, and we're going in the Amazonian jungle. No, she's got a car there, and she's waiting for me. She does not have any job, any obligation, so when we arrive, we send the car and we're going in the jungle. I'm glad to have you aboard, because actually I have this lifestyle. I'm also a traveler, and this is why I do this.
You can do this and then travel when... Perfect.
That's a summer job, perfect.
Exactly. Oh, look how beautiful the
Here
weather.
you see the Joan of Arc garden. In the center of the garden, it represents Joan of Arc, who led the French troops in the north of Europe in the 15th century. Joan of Arc had nothing to do with the French colony here. The statue was given in 1908 as a gift for the anniversary.
Oh, very nice.
Joan of Arc's horse was also named Linda.
You heard that? Is it a joke?
No.
I actually call her Lindissima.
Lindissima.
Because it's the most beautiful of the horses.
Look how cute.
You speak a little bit Spanish?
Yeah.
You learned?
No, hablé español antes de conocerle. Él dice que es como lo pesqué. That's how I fished him. Oh, we met in Puerto Vallarta. Hace mucho. Hace Hace 30.
Nice place to fall in love.
Ajá, exactamente. Hace 30 años.
Here we're
Look how
looking
beautiful
at
this here.
see if Linda is thirsty, but I think she's not.
Oh,
We have about 4
let
fountains.
Linda
on
have
the
a
way.
little. Aw. Eso sí. It's so nice and happy.
Yes. These are fountains especially for the horses.
Yeah, this one was put there about a century and a half ago. The first gas station. Here you see a Martello Tower. It is a British construction. The structure is round, so if the angle of the cannonball is not good, it bounces off the wall. The same as you might have seen in Great Britain. If you visited England, there's mainly this British concept. So the wall is French, but there's also some artifacts of the British regime from the War of 1812. On the right, you see the administration of the battlefield park. So this is where the Battle of the Plains of Abraham took place, here. This is where Wolfe led about 5,000 soldiers to face Montcalm. It's the famous battle where we passed from a French to a British regime. So it's this battle which is known as the 20 minutes battle. You might have heard about this one. Yeah,
No.
20 minutes battle. Yeah, it's this one. We're talking about the famous battle of the Plains of Abraham, 10,000 men, but it was very short.
Wow.
You know that the British were well prepared compared to the French. They took the Orleans Island. On your way, you might have seen the Orleans Island.
Of course.
This
We
is
were
where the
there,
British
actually, yeah.
had the first settlement. They arrived and they took this island. It was strategic because they blocked the entrance of the river, and the main crops were also on the island, so they could grow the food. They had a settlement there, and they received a lot of support from the British, from the area of United States before the independence, and also from Great Britain. But the King of France knew that if they would send troops to the colony to support the French, they would have to pass in front of the Orleans Island. So they refused. This is why it was very short. From here you see the shining roof of the Chateau Frontenac. It was restored this summer. It's new copper. We polish it. The Chateau Frontenac is the biggest hotel in town. A lot of people could think it's a castle, but it is not. It was built as a hotel. The first part opened in 1893.
So it was always a hotel, never a castle.
Never a castle. Well, there was a castle, but it was destroyed to build this one. There's a Haldimand Castle, sorry for the British guy. But this one that you can see now is a hotel. It's about 600 rooms. You can see the leftovers of the moat. The moat remains around the fortress of the citadel. So the enemy would walk to take over the city and face the soldiers on top of the wall before to fall down in the cliff.
Did you know that Quebec is the only walled city north of Mexico?
Yeah,
that
is this a walled city in Mexico?
Yes, Campeche.
Campeche is walled? Where is it, Campeche?
Campeche is in the Gulf of Mexico, south from Veracruz.
South from Veracruz?
Southeast from Veracruz.
Is it on this on
the same coast?
on the same coast
Yes,
between Merida and Veracruz?
between Merida and Veracruz. Exactly.
I didn't know that Campeche was I knew
walled
that
city also.
Cartagena. I knew that Cartagena
Cartagena in Colombia also.
but I didn't know that in Mexico.
Campeche too.
I'll make sure to visit.
I've never been there.
I really like Mexico. I go every 2 years.
Good for you. It's beautiful, isn't it? The people are so nice.
This is where I learned my Spanish.
Your Spanish is great.
So we're going back for the second half of the tour inside the wall. On the yellow panel you have a picture of the citadel from the air, so it looks like this. It's got the shape of a star, so the enemy gets caught inside of the point. It gives more surface.
So interesting.
And there's a monument for Churchill and Roosevelt, who met each other here about the planning of the Second World War. It was at the Chateau Frontenac. There is still the Churchill suits that the people can visit where he stayed. It is the Garnison Club of Quebec, so it served for the officers of the Citadel growth after. Our private businessman club. We're on the St. Louis Street heading to the Arm Place and the Chateau Frontenac. St. Louis Gate, St. Louis Street, and it led to the St. Louis Castle and St. Louis Tower, the first fortification of the city before the war, before everything. This is the main avenue on the upper town. And this window, this house has got a lot of windows. If you pay attention on this side, you realize that they blocked 6 of them. Simply because they were resistant to the British regime. They didn't want to pay their taxes. At the time they paid taxes on the window facing the street. On the left there's an interesting house from the French regime, French-Canadian house, covered with metal for the snow to slide down and to block the flames also. You see the thickness of the wall in the dual frame. Talking about 3 feet of stone. Keep the heat inside, made for the cold winter. The street that we're going to cross is very wide because the fortification of the city ended here at a certain time. It was moved back while the population was growing. So the street is wide, as you can see. You see the first city hall was built after that they moved the wall in 1740. Here you have an original house from the French regime. You see it's all hand-cut limestone, probably taken from the diamond cliff. You see a mansard on top from the French architecture. On the right we'll see an interesting house also, very big, because it was owned by the intendant of the colony, the guy who managed the finance, the intendant Bigot. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola.
Bienvenidos en Quebec.
Gracias. México.
Chilango, chango. De la Roma.
De la Roma.
De la Roma.
Nosotros de Cocoyot. De Michoacán. Donde están los muertos.
Órale pues.
La familia michoacana.
La familia michoacana nada más.
Ahí están. Ahí está. Los mexicanos están en Quebec. Qué chistoso. Well, I'll continue the tour in English. I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
I was about to continue in Spanish. So here you can see an artifact of the war. They are stuck in the roots of the tree. A cannonball. Right after the First World War, the Quebec confiscated with a factory of bullets.
Oh well.
Yeah. Here on the right you'll see the house where Montcalm was brought after the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. The two generals were Wolfe and Montcalm. Montcalm died there after his injury. As life goes on, it became a sushi shop. There is the Ursuline Monastery down the street where Montcalm was brought after it's a private elementary school, and there is also the Ursuline Museum. They were one of the first community of nuns to arrive in 1639. They arrived with the Augustines. They became the first teachers. On the left you'll see the oldest house that remains in Quebec. We're talking about the 1600s, 1677. Aux Anciens Canadiens, French-Canadian house. A very steep room because they were
This one is here.
We're heading to the arm place now. On the right there is an interesting historic site, which is the Treasurer's house. So all the money was kept there in the 18th century. We can still see the metal shutters which served to protect the windows at night. It became the Quebec Board of Historic Sites. There was just one floor at the beginning. They put the second one. You see the line in the center. We arrive at the Fairmount Chateau Frontenac. On the left side of the street, this one was built as the first courthouse by the same designer as the Parliament. Etienne Eugène Taché, very influential architect in Quebec. You can see the coat of arms again. Je me souviens means I remember. The whole sentence is Je me souviens être né sous la fleur de lys et avoir grandi sous la rose. I remember to be born under the lys. Commemorates the fate of the first missionaries who arrived in 1615. They were Récollets, but the missionaries used to go and explore the territory, trying to convert the natives. Here on the right, you see the founder of Quebec, Samuel de Champlain. At the Musée du Fort, we have a light show, a little remake, miniature of the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. In front of it is the statue of the first bishop, Monseigneur de Laval.